you that one of my favorite animes is Berserk, and one of my favorite franchises is Fire Emblem? Yes. So I'm gonna be watching Dimitri versus Guts from Berserk. I feel like this is gonna be very one-sided. This is recommended by the chat this time. But thank you all for submissions on the YouTube community time. Hi YouTube! How you all doing today? So yeah, let's just watch this death battle and let's see how it goes. We love Fire Emblem is here. Yes, actually my first P2 model was inspired by Fire Emblem Anna, but it has evolved so much that it is really far from that. And right now, I guess what is the reference of the things that I love with this model. I'm gonna leave that up to the YouTube section.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp and Mint Mobile.
So let me know how the audio is. Yo, that battle's getting sponsored by Mint Mobile? Yo, they're going huge. They've always been huge, but holy shit.
The brutal black swordsman of Berserk.
And Dimitri, the savage savior king from Fire Emblem. Vengeance is an ever-malicious force that can turn anyone into a broken, traumatized,
unstoppable one-man army. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Man, are they gonna talk about like lore of Berserk or just the powers? Because I feel like these videos are way too rated and for mature. Berserk is dark as hell, by the way. But if you never watched Berserk, please be cautious. It's really dark. Lore? Oh no, I have to be careful.
In the realm of Midland, life really sucks all around. Demons run rampant, villages get pillages, and a helpless elf fairy has become target practice for some thugs. Batter up!
Until walking into the torment comes a stranger clad in black, cleaving through anyone in his way with one humongous sword.
Wiz, that weapon is too big to be called a sword, too massive and thick, more like a slab of raw iron that no normal man could wield.
Somebody references before I click the video, the original Buster Sword. It's Guts from Berserk. Every time someone thinks about giant swordsman, it's either Cloud from Final Fantasy VII or Guts from Berserk. That is like the old-time meme.
Except for the man with a simple but fitting name, Guts.
But what is it that makes Guts so terrifying? Well, we're about to get into some really, really dark shit, fair warning.
Born from his mother's recently hanged corpse, Guts was taken in by a mercenary band led by Gambino.
Who definitely isn't winning Father of the Year. Gambino put Guts through the ringer, training him with swords way too big for him before putting him into live combat at only 9 years old.
Training with such large swords made Guts inhumanly strong.
The manga of Berserk is so good.
He needed a different kind of strength to endure the horrendous abuse he suffered from Gambino.
So he murdered the bastard in self-defense. He deserved it, trust me, with no home or family to speak of.
Jesus, you would think anime characters are wild. Like look at JoJo, Stardust Crusader. How old do you think Jotaro Joestar is? It's like, oh my god, that's like a 30-year-old man. Wrong. It's like a 15-year-old in high school. And how old is Guts? I mean, this picture doesn't do it justice. This is the young Guts, but the man looks like a 30 to 40-year-old. Anime age. Jotaro is 17, mid-20s. My man is in the mid-20s and already lived like 3 lifetimes. 6'8". Before the stream started, people were telling their height. Apparently some MF in here is 6'5", 6'2", 6'3". Why are you all so tall?
Guts aimlessly wandered for years as a lone mercenary.
Until he caught the eye of the ambitious Griffith. Impressed by Guts' bold battle prowess and blunt honesty, Griffith. If you've seen a meme, there's a very dark meme out there. It's called... So the meme is when people say jokes like... Griffith did nothing wrong. That's like a really dark statement. Griffin did everything wrong, but I guess that's the joke. It's a little bit of edgy humor. So Guts joined his mercenary group, the Band of the Hawk.
Where Guts' gutsy fighting style made him the perfect captain. The dude was hardcore enough to fight 100 enemy soldiers on his own, and even
this part was so badass.
A 100-year-long war, all while earning respect and glory with Griffith and his group.
For the first time, Guts found true friends and comrades to rely on.
But when Griffith realized he couldn't keep Guts at his side, really, really bad things happened.
Upon the eclipse, Griffith summoned a bunch of demons, became a super demon himself, and sacrificed
Don't say
Guts'
it.
new
Don't say
friends
it, that
to
battle.
the
Don't
abyss.
say it. You're
If
gonna get
that wasn't
canceled.
bad enough, he marked Guts with a demonic brand, then raped his girlfriend Casca, forcing Guts to watch as his eye was split open and he was forced to tear off his own arm.
Yeah, really bad things.
Guts barely escaped with his life. He vowed to brutally murder Griffith, and every
He said the
down
word.
to the last one. No small task, even for him.
And every big task needs even bigger weapons. Guts' bread and butter is the enormous
Like
Dragon
it for the
Slayer.
bits.
6.5 feet long and weighing over 300 pounds, Dragon Slayer is absurd. In Guts' hands, it can cleave through plated armor and even demons with skin of corundum, a real-life metal that is harder than steel.
Holy.
And since Guts has made killing demons his favorite
I have a
pastime-
question, Chad. Is adamantium a real metal? I love adamantium is one of those things that always shows up in video games, but I keep getting gaslit that it is real or not. Is adamantium not real? No, I need to do some dead battle investigation myself. Adamantium is fantasy? No way! I thought it was real. It just shows up in so many media. Is adamantium real? No, adamantium is not real, but it is fictional metal in Marvel Universe. Not just Marvel, but everywhere. Fictional metal alloy. Well done.
And Dragon Slayer was exposed to so much demonic blood that it exists on the
Right?
astral
So many
plane,
things don't
meaning
use it.
can harm any supernatural monster. God, this thing's heavy.
Guts also carries a collection of explosives and throwing knives, but I'm partial to his mechanical arm, complete with
I
a
can't tell
wondrous
what's real
invention
or
of a
fantasy
repeater
anymore.
crossbow and a secret cannon.
Yeah, that's neat and all, but they aren't as awesome as Dragon Slayer here. God, how does he do this? Okay, the repeater crossbow is pretty cool.
You wanna know something? Hold on. Dragon Slayer over 300 pounds can slay ethereal beings. Analyzing their weapons, combats, and skill, I can tell you that Boomstick is actually pretty damn strong. Yeah, I said it. I did a review of Boomstick just now. Look at this. Look at this. You can't tell me right now that this man just lifted casually. I mean, he's struggling, but he lifted a 300-pound sword
No, but
in front of Whis.
they aren't as awesome as Dragon Slayer here. God, how does he do this? Okay, the repeater crossbow is pretty cool. It can fire a volley of 4 to 5 bolts per second, making it the go-to option for mowing down groups of bad guys.
Watching
And
some
hey,
dead
if you
battles.
gotta lose your hand, replacing it with a goddamn super gun is the way to go. Even demons are afraid of this thing. See ya, Snakeface!
With his collection of weapons and indomitable will, Guts slaughtered everyone and everything in his way.
Be it an army of trolls, a supersonic elf fairy, or some Bible thumper whose blows were like cannons.
But while Guts took the physical challenges in stride, his
Awesome.
mental strife was a different story.
He had demons to deal with, literally and figuratively, always tormented by his inner beast of darkness.
Guts tried to shoulder this trauma alone, even for a time leaving behind Casca, who survived but was mentally broken. Nothing would replace the comrades Guts lost during the eclipse. However, through his resilience, he eventually saw the dangerous path he was on, and so reunited with Casca and eventually came to depend on new companions.
Including pretty boy Serpico. He doesn't look like much, but the guy is fast enough to dodge lightning at speeds over 100 times faster than sound. And Guts
Damn.
has kept up with him more than once.
And thanks to the witch Flora, Guts got his deadliest and riskiest asset, the Berserker.
The Berserk armor.
Oh boy. By shutting down all mental limitations, this armor gives Guts a huge amp in strength. Pain means nothing to him now, and it even heals injuries on the fly. Wait, did I say heal? What I meant was it pierces his torn flesh and broken bones together so he can fight until the actual last drop of blood has left his body. Man, that's hardcore.
And extremely
So
risky.
metal.
Donning
So
the armor
metal.
has been nearly disastrous for him more than once.
Yeah, when he's in a stitched up rage, the beast of darkness is gnawing on his mind, tempting him to go berserk. Bam! Title drop.
Guts' tenacity is a sight to behold. He's held back a demonic dragon, withstood being impaled, and even teamed up with a fabled demon swordsman to take down an apostle that can channel lightning.
and sliced up a cloud dude in the rawest
Wow.
manga panel ever.
I love.
Just
Damn.
look at it. If that's
Every
not badass
manga
enough for
panel
you,
of
he
this
once killed a
anime is
giant
so brutally amazing. I'm sorry, I'm a snob for manga art. I love manga art so much that, oh my goodness, if I could get more work done like this, it would be amazing for my VTuber. I need to. I'm on the works actually, so pay attention to that in the future.
sea god from the inside.
With its whale, this behemoth created a storm that covered an entire island. The kinetic energy of such a storm is immense.
art is incredible,
Gauging
yes.
the size of the island, the energy required to induce
Full
such
Metal
a storm would need to
Alchemist.
exceed 600 kilotons of TNT.
Yeah, that's right. Guts gutted a sea monster whose shout was a natural disaster.
He needed to do that and much more to reach Elfhelm, where Casca's lost sanity was finally returned. Things were looking up for the legendary Black Swordsman.
But that bastard Griffith just wouldn't leave him alone.
No matter how tragic his tale becomes, Guts will persevere for his allies, both past
Companions.
and
All
present.
his
He
homies
has
die
new friends,
because
a
of Griffith.
renewed heart, a badass sword, and the last thing any man, demon, or god wants to do is mess with him. Fuck yeah!
Man so angry he escaped hell.
This episode of Death Battle is brought to you by
It's-
BetterHelp.
It's
Sometimes
brutal.
in life you can get stuck with tough choices, and you're not sure how to move forward.
It's crazy.
Maybe you're afraid of failure.
I think
or
Dimitri is
heck,
gonna
maybe
need the
you're afraid of
service.
success.
It could be your career,
I'm
your
joking, I'm joking.
relationships,
I don't
your
wanna be edgy.
finances. It feels like the instant one problem gets solved, another 3 take its place.
And therapy can be just what you need to help you navigate those problems and stay connected to what
Godzilla
you really
escaped
value,
hell in one of his
making you
comics.
happier
That was
and healthier.
recent,
Like
I
learning
think.
how to set a proper work-life balance. I know I could certainly use
With a
less time
giant
in the lab.
laser,
Or how
Godzilla
to set
escaped from
boundaries,
hell
valuing yourself while still respecting
together
others.
with the
If you're thinking
homie
of starting therapy,
Guts.
consider giving
I wanna say
BetterHelp a
Guts.
try.
This is like VR
It's
chat.
all online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and
Imagine
suited to
Guts
your schedule.
and
All
Godzilla
you need to do
escaping
is
hell.
fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist.
And you can switch therapists at any time for no extra charge.
Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp.
Visit betterhelp.com/deathbattle today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/deathbattle.
Guts in
On the
Fortnite.
continent of
Please,
Fodlan
yes.
lies the holy kingdom of Fargus.
Make a
knightly
Fortnite
nation
next week,
where
by the way.
youth learn to swing a sword before they can write their own name.
Oh, here we go.
Prince
I need to
Dimitri
finish this game.
Alexandra Blathid was no exception.
The kid was a prodigy, able to spar with far more experienced
Uh-oh.
warriors, in part because
No
he was
lie.
a crest
How much have
bearer.
you played it?
Or someone gifted mystical power through the blood of the goddess.
Oh, they're
so
almost the same
Those
age.
born with a crest gain anything from enhanced magic to superhuman strength.
At 9 years old, Dimitri could lift giant boulders, run across mountains for hours, and constantly broke swords by accident.
An
Most
anime
elites
character
who
or
had
this is a video game
crest
character?
also had a massive ego, but not Dimitri.
Right, Dimitri was strong, but generally kind. Like when he gave his childhood friend Edelgard a dagger. An earnest, if
Childhood
I
friend.
got shotgun shells for my first
Oh,
crush,
how the
but life
turntables.
took a turn for Dimitri when a mysterious group murdered his dad and a bunch of knights, burning them all in front of him, and leaving the poor kid with some serious survivor's guilt.
guilt that only worsened when the country of Dusker was unjustly blamed for the tragedy. Dimitri lamented that he could not stop Fargus's corrupt nobles.
Don't worry though, when those same nobles rebelled a couple years later,
Oh, yeah.
he fought
Pretty good
them like a
editing. It makes me want to
beast,
play the
laying
game
them
even more.
all with sadistic glee.
This savage side would emerge when Dimitri was reminded of the tragedy he witnessed. Otherwise, his
I need to bring
chivalrous
back
charm
co-CGRPG
remained
time.
With guidance from his dead dad's buddy Rodrigue, Dimitri got into the Garrick Mock Officers Academy, where he led the Blue Lion's House.
I have
and
it, but I
learned
haven't
the
finished
mystic
it.
arts.
Well, he's not the most proficient in it, but Dimitri did learn healing and elemental magics, able to call down lightning or even channel it through his weapons.
Letting him electrocute tons of enemies at once. He learned this and more from
Just
everyone's
equip
favorite
him with
Smash
every
Bros.
class.
character,
Okay, so
Professor
this might be
Violet.
BS for
Assuming you
Guts.
picked Dimitri's Blue Lions when you played Fire Emblem Three Houses. We're getting a little meta here, but his story turns out very differently depending on the path chosen. Aside from the Blue Lions, there's Edelgard's Black Eagles.
I hope they show
And
Anna.
the Golden Deer, led by the crafty Claude Von Regan, aka the Best House.
That band of goofy misfits? The Black Eagles are a far more cohesive unit.
Nah, fear the deer, Wiz.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Fear the deer.
Ashen wolves for life, losers!
Of course, Jocelyn picks the
Ha ha
gods.
ha.
Anyway, in Dimitri's route, he
The
mastered
DLC.
all manner of weaponry, lances, swords, axes, gauntlets, and more.
Some of these weapons use magic, some use poison, and others are used to slay giant monsters. But all of them made Dimitri an ace at warfare, especially when Byleth taught him some special skills.
The seal movement technique stops foes in their tracks. Frozen lance skewers enemies with ice, and swordbreaker boosts evasion against blade users. To top it
Yeah, we're
off,
getting into the
Dimitri can enter
territory
an
of
awakened state
video
for
game
even
mechanic
more power.
shenanigans.
Dimitri led his classmates through thick and thin, but
Guts is gonna have
everything
trouble
changed when
here.
he suspected the one behind the tragedy of Dusker was his old dagger friend, Edelgard. Dun dun dun!
To end Fodlan's oppressive crest system,
Oh,
Edelgard
Rhea.
and her empire
My
declared war
beloved.
on Fargus and the Church of Seros.
My queen.
Dimitri could be cruel before, but after this betrayal, he snapped, vowing to kill every last one of them. For 5 years, he slaughtered the enemy, all to appease the voices that called for Edelgard's head.
He's not exaggerating. Dimitri truly believes his dead loved ones cry to him, unable to know peace until he claims vengeance.
As if Prince turned murderer hobo wasn't scary enough, he wields the ultimate lance, the hero's relic, Eredfar.
Forged from the bones of dragon-like Nabateans, Eredfar is much stronger than ordinary metal. It can pierce any
Inhuman
armor with
strength.
its signature move, Atrocity, and only crest bearers can wield it without mutating into a monstrous black beast.
With his lance, Dimitri kept
Do we have a
killing,
sword
but no
versus
bloodshed
lance?
could calm his mind. He reached peak war crimes, torturing an
It's
enemy
very
commander
sad.
in blind
Very sad
rage.
plot.
But when his
Both of
actions
these
led to
mans have like
Rodrigue
tragic
making the ultimate
backgrounds.
sacrifice, Dimitri was broken, terrified of yet another voice haunting him.
Except this time, he had his professor to help him out. We really gotta pay teachers more, y'all.
Dimitri still felt hatred for Edelgard, but looked past it to the friends and kingdom he neglected and made a choice.
Instead of killing every last one of them, he
Oh,
would save
Dor-
every last
Dor-
one
no,
by
it's called- I
retaking
thought it was Dorothea.
Fargus's capital.
A task this wretch turned savior king had the
Get
strength
this man
to
all
do.
the Fatland
Dimitri has
therapy.
dodged meteors going Mach 60, decimated a squad of soldiers with one spear throw, and defeated a wizard from the magic Illuminati.
This is Talos, whose power shook a futuristic
Not the
underground city.
Illuminati.
And Dimitri just walked through his magic like it was nothing.
Dimitri's also more than a match for Edelgard, who, in her route, bested
Yo,
the
fallen
Archbishop of the
Edelgard.
Church of Seros.
That's a
This is
monster.
important because after dragging it up, Rhea survived 2 exploding javelins of light, aka magic nukes.
Yeah,
Jeez,
games
Dimitri
have like
can
weird
fight on her
mechanics, so it's
level?
cheap.
Indeed, but in the end, despite half a decade of slaughter, Dimitri was hesitant to kill Edelgard, in part from learning she wasn't responsible for the tragedy. Still, both monarchs had ideas for Fodlan that were simply incompatible.
And then Edelgard pulled a fast
Don't
one
bring
with
the
that old
Doritos
dagger
into
present.
this.
Dimitri definitely felt that irony.
The war was over, and with his allies at his side, Dimitri claimed his place as a just king.
Unless, you picked a different house.
Dimitri
His story
husband, let's
doesn't end
go.
very
Base
happy in those.
Nakomi.
But though the voices of the dead will haunt Dimitri until his final breath, so long as he has his friends, conviction, and compassion for the living, he will find peace.
All right, it's time for the match.
This episode of Death
I didn't do a
Battle sponsored by
poll. I didn't do the
Mint
poll, but
It's no surprise.
It's gonna be
inflation is
complicated. I don't
everywhere.
know who to
There's no
vote for.
escaping it. And if you're
I
looking
started
for a
with
break,
Guts.
look no further than Mint Mobile.
man,
It's the first company to sell a
I'm gonna
premium
stay with
wireless service
Guts.
online only.
my
You
guts
can
say
save a
guts.
ton and order from home with plans starting at just $15.
But there's a lot of cheap
That kind of low
mechanics with
price is
gaming.
exactly what we need in a time when everything is just getting more
Yeah, no
and more
spoilers.
expensive.
It isn't sorcery. By going online
Thank you all.
only
Thank you
and getting
for-
rid of the
for
traditional
not
cost of
spoiling.
Retail, Mint Mobile can pass those savings on to you.
All plans come with unlimited talk and
Listen
text
to your
plus
guts feel
high-speed
insane.
data delivered
Thank
on the
you, I
nation's
will.
Largest 5G network.
Better yet, you can keep your current phone number and contact, so switching over is no
I don't
big
know
deal.
Mint Mobile. I don't know
To get your
Mint
new
Mobile.
wireless
I don't
plan
know.
for just $15
You
a
can't
month
sell me
and
on
get
this.
the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/deathbattle.
That's mintmobile.com/deathbattle.
Drama Bros holding strong.
All right,
Ah.
the combatants are set. We've run the data through
Let me
all
see if I chose well.
possibilities.
Yo,
It's
Fire Emblem
time
Heroes.
for a death battle!
I love that guts grin. That's a good panel. Is it gonna be 3D or pixel?
100 men
Yo, it's
strong.
3D!
What drives your slaughter? To save the high and mighty crap till you're dead.
Oh, this is so animated. man. It's better animated than the Berserk remake from Netflix. I would love that to reference that. Imagine they put more budget in a YouTube video than in an anime.
Must have their revenge.
Guts don't give a fuck about your revenge. Guts can tank that. Come on, Guts, baby boy. You can go. You can tank that. That's no issue.
Go to hell.
That's a good reference.
Bastard.
Avenge us.
Oh, he's going psycho mode. Trauma bros. Trauma bros. It's real.
I'll kill them. All of them.
Oh, that's a good.
To the
Oh,
last one.
that's a good panel right there. Berserk. Oh, this is so badass. There's a statue like that that costs like $1,000. It's insane. Oh, this is more bloody than I thought it would be. Down to the last one. Three Houses doesn't have the triangle. I was gonna make a joke about lance versus sword. Oh, this ain't nothing. Come on. Bro, this battle is just getting started.
Still standing?
Yeah, this Guts will not. Ooh, that's
Both
spooky.
circle to the dead. You foul beasts will not have his soul.
What the? Don't do what?
KO! I don't
Oh, he
know
did.
what's scarier, Dimitri the demon or Guts still standing there. He was a badass till the end.
Oh, he died. This is like kind of like Ben K's dead, like dying while standing. BS. This is rig.
Being fast enough to dodge lightning, Guts actually had a slight speed advantage over Dimitri, though skills like seal movement and swordbreaker helped Dimitri close the gap.
And while Dimitri had some minor healing magic to fall back on, it wasn't gonna.
That feels like cheating. Come on, you're giving me the video game logic. Like seal breaker, that's not like a real technique from a cutscene. That's a video game mechanic. Keep listening. I will keep listening, but I'm pissed off that they're doing the whole thing like Bowser versus Eggman. The reference in the chance time mechanics. I'm gonna have a name for it. This is called the chance time mechanics when things that don't exist make it into the battle.
Close the gap.
And while Dimitri had some minor healing magic to fall back on, it wasn't gonna compete with the raw endurance from the Berserker armor.
Still, Dimitri's absurd strength and wider pool of weapons and abilities gave him plenty of ways to wear Guts down. Against Dimitri's electricity magic, Guts' sword and armor were vulnerable conductors, making every clash an opportunity to electrocute him.
Sure, Guts has defeated lightning callers before, but he needed help. Not to mention, moves like Atrocity can pierce through armored foes, bypassing half the point of wearing the Berserker armor.
Guts could power through some of Erdfar's damage, but he wasn't
Now they're putting
invincible and
Pokemon
could not heal
rules? So
from
true.
wounds.
Then there's both fighters' raw power. Slaying demons is really impressive, obviously, but not always on par with magic nukes.
Remember, in Edelgard's route, she defeated Rhea, who survived 2 Javelins of Light. In Dimitri's route, he defeated Edelgard, while she was a powered-up crest monster. That happened.
So if Rhea
Fall
can
and
take on the
Aelgar's
javelins
built
of light,
different, though.
Dimitri should be at a similar level. So let's find out how strong a javelin is.
In Vodlin's lore, several javelins decimated a forest, forming the Valley of Torment. However, the exact number of javelins used to create the valley was never given, making the power of an individual javelin unclear.
But we do know the javelins in this attack were supposed to hit the Garrigmach Monastery, until the goddess Sothis noped them away and they hit the forest instead.
We also know that the javelins of light are not limitless, with typically no more than 6 being used at once, even against structures similar in size to Garrigmach.
So if a similar amount were used in the attack that made
Wow.
the valley, each javelin
Honestly,
would pack a payload that's over
all
3
this game
gigatons of
mechanics is
TNT.
so weird.
Even if we severely
Being involved into an
lowballed this and
anime,
said the
it's
destruction
too
was
much
divided
arsenal.
between 10, 50, or even 100 different javelins of light, surviving 2 javelins would still be greater than the best of Guts' feats, even scaled to the sea god. Guts' persistence meant he wouldn't go down easy, but against Dimitri's inhuman strength, devastating abilities, and fervent willpower, it was just a matter of time before the vengeful king wore through him.
Saying it makes me berserk, but Guts could only go so fargus.
The winner is Dimitri
Fargus,
Alexandra Blake.
Come on. Come on. You give it. This is we're applying different levels of logic in here. Like there's a lot of gaming mechanics. What are we gonna give? Are we gonna give? What is it called? Dimitri the what do you call that? The there's some gaming mechanic. Oh yeah, the Pegasus Knight route. Oh man, let's make him a little Pegasus Knight so he can learn triple critical hit, and that's like a hidden arsenal to him. It's gonna be that kind. Well, that was that. It is crazy. Y'all, thank you so much for requesting this one. It was a wild ride. I'm salty. I'm very salty. AI SAIN, shut up. Shut up. I'm salty. Thank you.